right, so this week we got something really, really creepy and disturbing. You sent this in, and wow, it's a deep dive for sure.
Yeah.
It's a script actually for another podcast called The Attacker Next Door, a true college horror story. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's we're gonna take a look at this guy Garrett's experience living in a student co-op, and just how things kind of went from 0 to 60 really, really fast.
Yeah, like from unsettling to really terrifying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting here is to try to figure out, where those lines are, and how things can escalate so quickly, in these kinds of situations.
Well, and I think just the basic setup is already kind of fascinating. He's looking for off-campus housing and ends up in this co-op, and it's a mix of students, alumni, and then this one woman who's just described as just creating this different atmosphere right from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a character study right from the start. They describe this woman, late 50s, gray hair, and she's just sort of there.
Always in the kitchen.
Always in the kitchen, just standing silently.
Yeah.
Not really participating in any of the usual household things, like cooking or cleaning or any of that. She's just kind of this presence.
It's like a still life in a really bustling room.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes you wonder what's going on there. What's her story? Why is she like this? And Garrett actually tries to, he sees her from his window. He tries to give her a wave, like just a basic, human acknowledgement.
Yeah, just a hello.
And her reaction is so strange. Like she jumps up and runs away in this really exaggerated, almost cartoonish way.
Which just adds to that unsettling feeling.
Yeah, it's like a fight or flight response,
Yeah.
but totally out of proportion to the situation.
Right, and it really highlights that thing about, as humans, we look to others to sort of validate what we're seeing and feeling like, is this normal or am I overreacting?
Right, is it just me?
Yeah, and in this case, the other housemates, they basically say, oh, that's just her. Ignore it.
So it's like a social pressure to just accept it as normal.
Almost like a camouflage, right? If everyone else is acting like it's fine, maybe it is.
Yeah, but Garrett can't shake that feeling that something is off, and he's right to feel that way, because things start to get much worse.
Yeah, that's where we see that shift from, just odd or eccentric behavior to things that are actively unsettling and potentially threatening.
So, what are we talking about here? What are some of the things that start happening?
Well, for one thing, she starts appearing outside his door at midnight.
Just standing there.
Just standing there silently.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Yeah, it's like something out of a horror movie.
It's like she's watching him.
Exactly, and it really starts to mess with his sense of security. Like, even in his own room, he doesn't feel safe.
And then there's the incident with the mail. Someone's rifling through it, and she's seen in the hallway outside his room at like 3 a.m.
Right, it's no longer just about her being a bit strange. It's like deliberate violations of his space and his privacy.
And I think the missing key is a huge turning point here, right? Because it goes from unsettling behavior to an actual breach of security.
A real tangible violation.
Yeah, like a spare key to his room goes missing, and then it reappears somewhere else entirely, which means someone had access to his room without his permission.
It really breaks that implicit contract you have in a shared living situation, that assumption of respect for privacy and personal boundaries.
And it makes you wonder what else they might have access to.
Yeah.
If they can get into his room, what else can they get into?
And it's all building up to this horrifying climax, right? Garrett wakes up in the middle of the night to a thump in his closet.
Ugh, a thump in the closet that is like every scary movie ever.
But it's that quiet kind of thump that makes it even more unsettling.
Yeah, it's like, what could that possibly be?
And then he opens the closet door, and it's just this chilling image.
And she's in there.
Yeah, the woman is in his closet with his tie around her neck and a kitchen knife in her hand.
Oh my God.
And she lunges at him.
Oh my God.
So it goes from unsettling to life-threatening in a split second.
It's just terrifying to think about, you're in your own room, you think you're safe, and then this happens.
And it takes his housemates physically intervening to restrain her.
Wow, so it was a real attack.
Yeah, this wasn't just someone being odd, this was a violent assault.
And then the explanation for all this is just as shocking. It turns out that this woman was the property manager's sister, and she had apparently been living in the co-op for years. Like hidden away.
Yeah, hidden away without any support or treatment for what sounds like a pretty serious mental health issue.
And the worst part is that no one told Garrett or the other residents about her.
Yeah, the lack of disclosure is really appalling. Like, they knowingly put people in a potentially dangerous situation without any warning.
It's just unbelievable. And Garrett's decision to move out immediately is totally understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you stay there after that?
Right, when the place where you should feel safest becomes the site of a traumatic event, it's incredibly hard to feel safe there again.
And the script ends with this really haunting line. It says, "Some doors once opened can't be closed, and some faces you see every time you turn out the light."
It's a powerful image that speaks to the lasting impact of this kind of experience.
You know, this isn't something you just forget about. It stays with you.
It can affect your trust in people, your sense of security, your whole outlook on life.
So it really makes you think about those early warning signs. You know, the silent staring, the bizarre reaction. At what point do those behaviors become more than just odd and potentially indicate something dangerous?
And how can we as individuals be more aware of these things and respond appropriately?
Yeah, because, you know, it's easy to dismiss things as just weird or quirky, but sometimes there's something more serious going on.
And it's better to err on the side of caution, especially when it comes to personal safety.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is Garrett's story, and it's a really unsettling one, but it raises some important questions about how we perceive and respond to unsettling behavior in our lives.
And how we can create safer environments for ourselves and for others.
Yeah, so think about it, you know, what are those red flags that you might be overlooking in your own life? And what can you do to be more aware and take action if necessary?
It's a conversation worth having.
It really is.
Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Until next time,
Take care.
stay safe out there.
Bye.